Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dice Hard with a Vengeance. One of your favorite D&D shows here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live. At least we hope we're your favorites. We're trying very hard. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. As always, shout out to our sponsors, Raise Energy, available at repsports.com. Use the promo code Curbside8 at checkout. They have some amazing products. I particularly use their Broken Arrow pre-workout, and it just hits just right. So go use their products. Go give them your business. It is worth the time. It is worth the effort. And while you're online, go get you a little snack, because you deserve snacks. You deserve nice things. So go check out our friends at jerky.pro. Get yourself some delicious jerky. They have a multitude of flavors, and they are absolutely a wonderful product. It's the same promo code Curbside8. Use that at checkout for a fun little discount. And also, shout out to our partners, Collected Comics. In their 3 locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because next Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. So go, get you some wonderful deals, get you some free comics, get you some nice stuff from your favorite comic book store, Collected Comics, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Can't say enough nice things about them. And really excited, and really kind of the most important announcement of the night. Shout out to our new sponsor, ST-Way Gaming, our official DICE sponsor. That is right, we now have a DICE sponsorship. They are on Instagram, they are on Facebook, they're even on TikTok. So go give them your business. They have wonderful, wonderful dice. I am actually rocking a set of their green and purple here tonight. I'll be rolling those, and they're sending us a special little care package, literally as we speak. So go check them out. They are wonderful. We are so excited to be partnered with them. You can see down in the our little area here with all our sponsors. They're right there in the middle between J1 Studios and OBP Musical. Go check them out. It's a pleasure to be a partner with them. With that,
still getting over we have our own dice.
We have our own dice sponsor.
I feel like that's it. You guys
Yep.
made it.
We have officially made it with an official dice sponsor.
Hey, Butch, no.
With that, I'm gonna turn it over to our wonderful Dungeon Master. Tim, take it away.
Welcome back to Thrandia, guys, and welcome back to your adventure. When we last left off, the party was running for its life because the ruins and the city started to sink. Backtrack a little. The cause was after a intense fight with a purple worm. The arcane bomb went off, and a concussive force so strong that it leveled a lot of the tunnels and the undercity that was underneath the city of Aria. You guys had to run for your lives while the caves were collapsing in on themselves, just narrowly avoiding being caved in and being trapped, killed, or worse, expelled. But yes, you defeated the purple worm. You set off the bomb. For the most part, in probably the best case scenario. The city of Aria did sink a little bit, but that was also due to, from what you're gathering, a lot of the purple worm tunnels probably weakened the earth beneath the city, and with the small arcane explosion that kind of set off a chain reaction. It also explains a lot about why there were so many ruins beneath the city. You're fairly sure that explains how. You know, if this area is infested with purple worms and have been for years, it does explain how cities could, the earth could move, shift, and cities could sink. But where we last left off, you guys came up and just broke the surface, along with several hundred rat spiders that were fleeing for their lives as well. For the most part, though, job well done.
Woo! We did it!
But,
We did it!
Oh, we survived.
There are so many rat spiders everywhere.
It's a problem for another day, for another group of adventures. We did what we were supposed to do.
You do note that there are flashes of arcane energy going off like little flashbangs throughout the city, as you can see people trying to clear the streets of this infestation of rat spiders that have now just come up from the
They're already
undercity.
taking care of it. They're already starting on the problem.
yeah, look,
Like,
we got some valuable new jobs for people.
Yeah.
See, we're putting jobs in economies and however that works.
You see as a couple drunken patrons stumble out of a bar swinging their blades wildly, chasing after one of them as it's scurrying away.
You got to start somewhere. There's amateurs and pros in all sorts of aspects of life. Get that work experience, guys. So, what next? Where to next?
I think maybe we should find a place to make sure that this infestation of bullshit isn't just we're all like quietly putting our hands in our pockets and strolling away from ground zero.
Yeah, we should.
I'm whistling.
Yes.
I say
Oh.
we go see our furry friend and tell him job well done.
I point at Basilisk. Job well done.
What?
I don't know. Seems like we blew up the army we came here to find, so that seems like a...
He said find the furry friend, so I just...
No.
No.
I would have to wonder if Daedalus built them down there all this time. We could ask. I don't know. Maybe a group of experts on the subject. Looks pointedly at Yan.
Maybe. Maybe they'll know things. I don't know. I wasn't told a lot of information going into this. There's not a ton that the Order necessarily knows about this. I think that the information we gathered is more useful than anything.
Well, I'm no expert in structural integrity, but I'd venture a guess that if Daedalus built them down there, he had to have made them strong enough to find a way back up, or maybe they had plans of some kind, but
Or
Given-
alternative means.
well, given how much the city seems to be structurally unsound, I can't imagine that wasn't something that was thought in the design, but who knows? Maybe it was all a waste of time, but stopping the Brotherhood from getting it was worth it, I suppose.
I have a question, Basilisk. Do you have enough energy to send a message to one of them?
No,
No. Damn.
not at all.
I think honestly, one of the first things we should do is get somewhere and recuperate, given that some of us definitely.
Yeah, I assume some of us could use a nice rest, a nice drink, another nice drink, and then more rest.
Not to mention, it would probably be a good idea to be off the streets while things cool down.
DM,
Yes.
how far underground are they? The army?
Roughly?
Mm-hmm. Straight shot.
Straight shot.
from where we are now.
Yeah. I trust me. I'm doing math. One moment.
'Cause I do have message. I'm just not sure it'll reach.
Don't know if it I don't. How far is message?
120
say.
feet.
Oh, it would be outside of that.
Okay.
I'm
cool,
sitting
cool,
here
cool.
trying. Yeah.
Actually, please,
120.
I would like to know actually, how far on the ground they are
Okay.
for reasons.
I would say. Well, we've had a large shift in the. Trying to get my D4.
And the structural integrity of an entire island.
Yes. I just want my D4. Come out.
What? Why are you?
There. All right, Chris.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which doesn't like your question there, Chris.
I'll say roughly 900 feet, Chris.
900 feet. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 900 feet. Let's see.
At least that's what you calculate where they would be.
Yeah. That's fine. So 20 feet. I'm doing mental calculations,
Mm-hmm.
so be scared, because
Oh no, I'm
I don't
terrified.
do- I don't do those well. Let's see. Because I have a spell, actually. Let's see what this.
900 feet's probably being generous, but I'll stick with it.
It probably wouldn't work. Never mind.
What are you thinking?
No, I was just, since Draco's powers gotten a little bit stronger after that encounter, I was thinking for the young dragon form can burrow 20 feet, and if I was to stay in that form for 6 hours, burn 20 feet per 60 hours. I'm sorry, not 60 hours, 6 hours.
6 hours is, to put it quickly, at 20 feet per round, you're looking at 200 feet per minute, so 1,200 feet per hour, so 7,200 feet, or just about a mile and a quarter.
Yeah. You could probably reach them.
Yeah. So, Draco's gonna look to everyone. After arrest, if it's a worry for everyone, I could make a tunnel from here to down there.
You're not assuming we'll go down there with you, are you? Because
Oh no, I mean,
don't really see the profit in that.
oh no. I mean, as far as what just happened, it shouldn't be an issue for just me to go down and make a tunnel so the army can, use it to aid us when we do need it.
Right. With that in mind.
Corrales raises a hand. What if you run into another purple worm?
Yeah, probably not the best idea. I'd have to assume that if you could burrow down there with relative, we'll call it ease, I can only imagine that if Daedalus built this army to be worth a damn, I can't assume they wouldn't be able to tunnel their way out. I don't mind there being a way of us verifying. I think given that we're familiar with their leader, it shouldn't be difficult to attempt to contact them when we are more ready for such a task. And that wouldn't require anyone digging 1,200 feet under the city that is already structurally unsound enough.
It was just a suggestion.
It's a good one. It's good to know.
It's a good.
Given the way the math works out.
It's a good third or fourth backup plan.
Well, indeed. In regards to the mission well done to our Rakshasa friend, I have to wonder, he didn't have much of a personal stake in this mission on our end. He just gave us a pointer, so I would have to say just giving him a fond farewell. And I think the more important thing we need to talk to him about is the logistics of our financial support that we came here to get. Keep in mind, that is what we came here to get, so assuming that we've secured enough of a seat of power for the man, he probably wouldn't be uninterested in working. We already established he's interested in working with us as the acting ambassadors of this new state, so just securing effectively where the gold is going to be coming from and going before we leave is probably the more prudent thing to talk to the man about. And then, Yan, I have to say again, if there's any way that we can get word to your group, now would be the time to have a chat. Whether or not they'll know anything, they have to know something. So, I would say maybe getting the dust and the rubble off is our first priority, and then bidding a fond farewell to our new ally and getting a bit of a good idea on where the gold's going to go, so to speak. Maybe get an actual number that we can report back with. I'm sure they have means of transporting gold that'd be a little more secure than our pirate ship, also, to be fair, so we could discuss how we're going to secure moving that much support and where we want it to even go. But our goal in coming here and securing that contact, I think, is well and done. And all we need to do now is secure the logistics of it and get back on our godforsaken ship and go back from where we came.
Good plan.
I actually would agree, yeah.
Right.
And
To the nearest shitty inn.
Jan, you would also know that your instruction was to report back if you found anything.
If I may, I do need to at least stop by the Order of the Mystics and let them know.
Lovely.
Which,
Think.
where, DM, where
Mhm.
exactly, like, in relation to this, like, where exactly do I need to report to? Did they tell me?
Well, you were sent from, I'll say, a sect that is located in central Thrandia. However, there could be a way. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this, roll me. I'm gonna say survival, Jan.
Mm. 17.
17. To your recollection, and the only thing that you were allowed to know about was the one safe haven, the one sanctuary that you're familiar with. It's the one that you basically have a map and notes to find. So it is back in Thrandia.
Okay. How secretive were they about that? Do I need to dip from here for a second, or introduce new
That's all the way
friends?
back in the...
Your understanding is that you would be able to take the party with you.
Okay.
You being just an initiate yourself, there might be a few hurdles to cross when it comes to that, but you're from what you know, shouldn't be an issue.
All right. Then I will turn to the party, and I still need to report back. But I if I wouldn't mind the company if I could take you all with me, or tag along, maybe.
Well, I would say if your odds are getting back to Thurandia, we're headed that way. And given that our next steps are effectively to plot how best, now that we have support, we're hoping our council and allies will have a decent heading on where we're going to be going to be taking back our city now. So if your goal is to get to Thurandia, then we're at least going that way. And it's a bit of the devil's task to get into the mainland right now, but it seems like goals are possibly aligned there. And if we have no other way of finding out what we need to know, maybe our best heading.
Well, at the very least, the Order will know something that can give, I hope, you all direction as well.
Well, seems like we made a big step in understanding our enemy, and now we just have to plot the actual attack of it. And given that there's a cyclical nature to all this now, it seems rather pointless to go into a fight without a knowing of how to actually end it.
Yeah.
And if the secretive order of watchers and archaeologists that have been studying this for hundreds of years don't have any answers, I frankly don't know who would.
Seems reasonable to me.
So I'd say we get rested up, talk to our new ally, get a good understanding of where the gold is going to be coming from and going to, get that information back to our council.
Yeah. And in headed that way, our ride should still be at the brothel. Whiskey should still be there with Taruk.
Yep.
Isn't that a statement?
Taruk's probably broke at this point, as long as he's been staying there.
He probably has a tab that he needs help paying.
You just put a hooker on layaway?
Yeah, I think I did.
He's in the back washing dishes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Listen, buddy.
Oh gosh, yeah, he's working it off. You
Listen,
see him?
buddy.
He's the bouncer at the door. Sorry, I'm like 2,000 in debt. I'm paying it off.
All right, I'd say let's find ourselves the nearest place to lay low and get a bit of rest while we wait for the rampaging spider monsters to be taken care of and the streets cool down a little bit.
It really is a sight to behold. It's the equivalent of just seeing, like, a grandmother swinging a broom at one of these things, shooing it off of a porch. The average town guard killing one. It's a sight to behold for an entire city to have a rat spider problem. And it's yeah.
Have you ever seen the tarantulas come out after a flood in the desert? Because that's what I'm picturing.
No.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of
Yeah.
them. And they don't
Yeah.
do anything, but they're just everywhere. And you're like, geez, where did you come from? And they're like, the dirt.
No, they're doing something. They're existing in me.
Mm-hmm. 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 So that is the average, the site that you pass as you guys look to try to find a place to lay low and rest. One of your go-tos has been the amphitheater.
Oh yeah, that's probably our best bet. Nice, quiet, out of the way. Doesn't cost
Hopefully.
anything.
Hopefully not full of rat spiders.
Well,
No, just a crazy old man.
just keep a really good eye on our tail to make sure we're not being followed on the way there, and
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so the party, you make your way back to the abandoned amphitheater. home of your friend, poet and playwright Rynan. Rynan greets you all. It's about, I'd say, about like early evening right now. You're like about 3 in the evening. He opens the door and you see as the door just kind of creaks open and cracks, you just see an eye kind of suspiciously pop through the crack in the door. Who is it?
It's us. We're not here to collect on your brothel debts.
Oh, thank goodness. You see as this Jan, you see for the first time kind of a short, very frail looking older man with a gray beard, thinning hair. If you were looking for a parallel or a thumbprint, we'll say a Burgess Meredith type. And he warmly greets you all. Oh yes, come in. He does stink of wine.
I mean,
One does.
that's fair. Have you seen what's going on outside? Understandable.
I feel like Basilisk needs the most wine right now.
Just some sleep.
Honestly,
Okay.
given how less and less a fan of swords I'm becoming, could use some sleep as well.
So you guys are kind of ushered in the very familiar side of the abandoned amphitheater, and Jan, you are seeing for I believe what is the first time, kind of not very well kept, looks to be in disrepair, hasn't looked like that it is hosted any type of performance in a very long time. So
Somebody wanted attention.
no. But you do see a couple of the statues to certain gods, one or two of them missing an arm. It's very much in disrepair. But Rynan kind of comes off like a harmless lush to you, kind of a kind of a old hermit. But he greets you warmly enough. Oh, please, welcome. Please, come in. And he kind of immediately starts pouring glasses of wine for each of you.
I like this man.
He goes for shitty wine and over to one of the like stage setup vanities to start like one of the like stage play vanities to start doing the whole routine to get ready for sleep.
Jan, it is not top shelf wine. It's not even mid shelf wine. It
is affordable.
It is affordable. It is by definition wine.
This
you flip and see the label. It says DM 2020.
No.
Under a label that just says wine, has that name.
yeah.
But spelled wrong. WYNE.
Yeah.
This is definitely a vintage. Thank you for your hospitality, sir.
Yes, it's one of my favorites.
Oh no, he actually likes it.
Oh yes, he has a bottle to himself that he's sipping out of.
I'm gonna drink Spearfoot unironically.
Olorosi, my favorite.
Oh.
Look, my favorite wine, free.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Torn takes 2 glasses to himself.
You all heard of the news? The city has been overran with rat spiders.
Oh my god,
you
are
don't
you
say.
serious?
Wow, that's insane. Crazy, that.
Oh no.
1A.
I wonder how that happened.
The city is starting to assemble extermination squads, and they're paying people by the hour to destroy these things.
Wait, how much are they paying?
Wait,
Yeah.
right?
I don't remember,
Oh.
but it was a tidy sum.
And who was hiring people for this?
The city council, or at least what's left of it. They started to hire extermination squads. You see, as he's kind of tipping the wine bottle, he's about halfway through it.
Like scary crazy grandpa story vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting to tell the same story twice.
Yeah,
You,
grandpa.
you already said that part.
Look, right. He said, my understanding also is that they'll pay by the pound in the rat flesh.
The rat flesh pound. What a measurement.
Go to bed, Grandpa. You're drunk.
Go to bed, Grandpa. Oh no, Grandpa's drunk again.
Better truck him off to bed before he says something problematic.
Back then, we used to call them little people.
No, I can't go to sleep now. I have previous engagements later. Easy. Just kind of lays his head down on the desk.
He's like, and this is where I check out.
So I wanna
Make
put a
sure you
blanket on
wake
him.
me up at midnight. I have some places to be.
He means the brothel. He's going to the brothel
Yeah.
at midnight.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like the insight, the severity of that group's
Insight.
Throw medicine on that liver.
He goes in for another glass of shitty wine and is just like, that's an 18.
18. You see a set of freshly pressed robes that are scented off to the side.
No.
Yes.
No.
Bro, I
Scented
love
like
him.
what?
Frankincense.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood.
Uh,
I love this guy. He fucks so hard. You just know it.
that is
He
a true
fucks a
statement.
lot.
Individual.
He probably has a monthly bill at a cleric somewhere. You figure.
Ever
Yeah, what a
since
world we
visit-
live in where, that's how that just freaking
What's his
gotta have the
copay?
goals for it. What a,
Like, I'm sure he has a punch card for like every 12 visits you get the cleric visit for free. Like, definitely.
Rakshasa contracts with a local clinic. Oh, Christ.
The Rakshasa somewhere is like, I can't believe I started a business, but a valued customer is a valued customer.
Being a respectable businessman. Oh boy. I think at some point, getting ready for bed, I think at some point the only thing he's gonna do once everyone's like unwinding is kind of find Yen wherever she is. At whatever point everyone starts to go down.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can start to wind down now, unless anybody has anything that they want to do, any RP in mind. The evening comes to a close. Rynan does not appear to wake up. He is passed out head first on the desk, and his bottle of wine spilling a little bit onto the desk. Yeah, we can kind of fast forward to the night.
Poor dude's gonna miss his appointment.
Right.
Before we do fast forward, I do want to fix his bottle upright.
Okay. Okay. You do, and there's a little bit left in it, but most of that is just, it was at a bad angle for all of it to pour out.
Before V, I did have a few questions for Jan.
Okay.
Whether it be off to the side or whether it just be in the middle of the room doesn't matter. It's not super secretive or anything. So, heard you in the caves down there. How'd you learn to speak Draconic?
I pick it up here and there.
Anyone specific that you know in the islands? Specifically, maybe around Sandbar.
I try not to talk about my exes that much.
Ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it?
Sorry, a little behind the scenes. We haven't ironed out the backstory yet fully, so this is off cuff. So keep going.
You didn't
It's
have to
very
say that. We could just.
No, I'm good with it. I'm
keep
good with
riffing.
whatever happens next. Yeah, no. So good news, bad news. The good news is, you're. Well, finally have someone to speak Draconic to, because I don't think anyone else speaks at the party. Bad news.
Sucks. It means somebody's gonna know all of my swears, but okay.
I mean, I do it too. You're fine. The bad news is you may have to run into him because we kind of use him for information time and again. Plus, he lets us borrow his the back room for meetings, so that's not going to be super awkward or anything of that nature.
Sure. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. How's that?
That's fair. And on the just random topic of scales, do you know if your order knows anything about white dragons? Like, the big ones?
I'd say roll insight.
Like with the wings?
Mm-hmm.
And the full tails. Man, I wish I had.
Oh, that's a 6. That's
It's a reasonable assumption, but you have nothing to base it on, Jan.
Yeah, it's
you are still considered an initiate, and
Torin, there are some things they don't share with newbies. So
you certainly weren't given access to like all of the archives that they had yet.
It's understandable. Well, as a disclaimer to you, if you do intend to tag along with us on a permanent basis, it's up to you. No one here is going to force you. We may encounter one, like a really big one.
Do you know how old it is?
Very.
Oh.
It's harassing some druids up in a mountain, and
she like pulls out a journal. She's like, really?
We intend to get them as allies to take the city back, but they have their own problems, which we might have to solve for them.
That's always the way.
Yeah, that seems to be the way.
Jan, you would know, by the way, that the druids of Thrandia have had bounties put on them in recent history, and that many of the druidic tribes and all manners of druids have had to flee Thrandia in recent times. Usually to the Frostfell in the north, which is more undeveloped, more it's Canada. Well, for reference.
Western Canada, got it.
Yeah, it's Western Canada, but it's very undeveloped. It's very wild, untamed as well. And that what he's saying would jive with just common knowledge.
But a real white dragon.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly,
You
it's
hear-
big, like just.
You just hear randomly, I can hear you.
Well, then how old's the dragon?
It's ancient.
Ah, ancient.
Wow. Thank you, Draco.
Thanks, Draco.
Saying, I feel like I can hear all in this building.
It does kind of echo where you're at. It's big open space.
Probably because like Jan hasn't found a place to settle in yet, so
Yeah.
Tor's just having this conversation in the center stage of the.
Yeah, it's just
Like-
kind of been pacing.
Ambient noise of Rhinan snoring kind of echoing throughout the chamber. Every once and again, you'll hear him say something in his sleep, you know. Like, the redhead's cheating.
Bro, he's so awesome.
That's word for it.
But yeah, just a little workplace hazard disclaimer.
Forewarning.
What Draco said.
Wow.
Because it's not a it's not exactly an easy job that we have.
Mine's not either, so I do understand.
Okay, one more dumb question, then I promise I'll stop bothering you. Did they give you like a cool title?
Does initiate count as a cool title?
I mean, it's a title.
I don't think it's.
Oh, damn.
Listen, I rolled up with their scout and my friends dead. So saying that they would immediately welcome me with open arms would not be accurate at all.
That's fair. I'm sorry to hear that.
Kind of part of the business. Look for treasure, people get hurt.
Well, we've lost our fair share along the way as well. So.
I'm probably gonna get some sleep.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I promise I'd stop bothering you.
In Draconic, she says, sleep well.
I can understand that too.
Well, then the same
Since
sentiment
fucking
for
when?
you, Draco.
And Torn will storm off to Draco's spot.
Do you want a real answer for that? Because I got one if you want it.
I mean, I'm intrigued, but, you know, if anyone else had anything, I didn't want to take up the whole the whole episode.
Anyone else want the stage? Anyone else want the stage?
Literally,
As
in this
Draco
case.
and Torin are going back and forth about why Draco can speak.
Speak
Draconic.
Draconic, and he never
you
said anything.
that you had something?
It was a recent development.
V, did you have something?
Oh yeah, sorry, there was a bit of a glitch. I didn't know.
No worries.
my name. Yeah, I'd say like really once everyone gets very settled into wherever they're gonna be resting, V all dressed up in bed in her, long night dress and robe and with Charybdis all on in her arm, the crook of her arm. She's gonna walk back out to the main area for like another bottle of wine and then find wherever Yen ends up sleeping.
You see, he's kind of on his back, kind of stretching his paws out, claw
Just
and claw
scratching
out,
him.
and claw back in.
Just scratching him. And V, yeah, she's gonna grab another bottle of wine and go kind of has been keeping an eye on where everyone disperses to and then goes to find wherever Yan ended up.
Yan, I guess, would be sitting in a chair, just like trying to make it into a more comfortable, like, this is good to see.
V saunters up in like one of those like floor length black silk like nightgowns matching robe situation. Just kind of comes up with a bottle.
Well, you came prepared.
Always, after this much travel, you learn to keep the important things nearby. Thought you might want a bit of something to send you off. Just kind of hands you, puts the bottle down.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
I just wanted. He's gonna work as hard as possible to like see if anyone's snoring, keep the conversation, as low as possible in this crowded building. And just sort of like, she kind of looks you up, Yan. Like she kind of is just kind of looking at you for a moment, just like kind of staring you up and down, kind of like, you know what it looks like. It's like the size of you. She's just sort of.
I'm an open book if you have questions. Well, within reason, of course.
Suppose I wanted to try out the little apology thing when it comes to perhaps being a little uncouth before all this happened back at the brothel. I wasn't incredibly careful with your information because I didn't particularly care in light of the task we had in front of us. But given how useful you were and how forthcoming you've been this whole time, I feel like it would be incredibly rude of me to not at least mention that. I can understand discretion with all manner of logic and necessity, and while our group doesn't exactly play subtle well, I think that when it counts, we have a good understanding of the game we're playing and how we fit into it and what's required.
As far as I'm concerned, I believe sharing your eyeliner was plenty apology.
Really?
What, you're gonna share a magical artifact with some stranger who just waltzed up and said, "No, I'm part of a mystical order"? Takes a bit of
pragmatic enough. This guy, when you mention your order, and V has like a moment where she's just sort of like thinking about something that might not be about this conversation, and then just kind of like stares off for a brief second.
You good?
Let's just say this is the closest we've gotten to your order since we've learned of it. And let's just say I have interest in many elements of your order. And so I suppose this is one of those, if you can help us, we can help you situations. But if it ever comes down to it, I think you could also help me, and I could also help you in anything else along the way. Again, we're going to Thurandia, and we aren't nothing to shake a stick at in means of protection and assistance. So maybe at some point you'd be willing to help me out with interests I have in your order.
And what might those interests be?
Personal ones, and ones that pertain to the safety of, as it seems, the world.
Seems valiant enough.
That's me. Valiant, valiant, valiant.
Somehow I find that hard to believe. And she opens the bottle, takes a swig, and offers you some.
V kind of does like pour a little in the glass and like lets Karib just like do that cat thing where he dips his paw in it and like licks his paw, and then like kind of has a glass. She just kind of looks at you again and is just like, I've had difficulty in the past with people who are a little too skilled in ways that I'm similarly skilled, but I have to say it would be uncouth of me to not express that I am very impressed with the assistance you were able to give us.
Well, that seems like high praise coming from you. I greatly appreciate it.
Pleasant. I'm working on that. It's good to hear. I think it would also merit saying that, well, don't take this personally. I have this little introduction to most people that join our group, but if for whatever reason this does sour and sully our relationship and you have a strong enough hand in it as to be a problem or betrayal, I won't hesitate to make you not a problem anymore. Hope you understand.
Oh, I would expect nothing less.
Brilliant. Hope you don't take it personally. I threaten to kill pretty much everybody who joins the group. Well, except Basilisk, because his motives are so valiant, I suppose would be a good word, that it wasn't really this. And come to think of it, neither Draco. Maybe I should threaten to kill him sometime. I would hate to be rude. Anyways.
I mean, as far as my line of work goes, yes, that makes sense. You would I mean, threatening to kill someone who's trying to join your party seems like another day.
Oh, it's just more making sure the cards are on the table. Still working on the honesty without being too needlessly mean. Working on that balance, hoping I'm getting closer to striking the balance between the two. But suffice it to say, I hope that our discretion would become your discretion, and you can expect the same from us so long as you're working towards our goals.
Sounds like a fair shake.
Pleasant. Hopefully we can get some time to fill you in a little bit more on the state of affairs back in Thrandia. Not too welcoming at the present moment, given that most of our contacts and point of interest is the city that fell to the Brotherhood not too long ago, but us and who we represent are working to remedy some things. Can't wait to introduce you to them. I think if our goals align.
I will say it's very different working for something bigger. Very used to I don't want to say selfish, but more personal aims.
Speaking as probably one of the most selfish people you've met all week, I can relate to the oddness of it. But where personal survival ended and caring about something more began, I honestly couldn't tell you. Honestly couldn't tell you if there's much of the latter around, but I'm trying. And so long as you assist us towards that goal, I can't imagine that they, or at least, are not going to run headlong to assist you in whatever it is you're trying or want to do.
Well, right now all I've got left is the order, and I'm not sure that that's much. So
it better be something, because I can't possibly see how having their fingers as many pies as they probably do. I think the trick is getting them to be interested in talking to us, something that secretive doesn't last that long without being cautious about their secrets. Something I can verify.
I can at least get you guys to the door.
That's all I need.
Thank you for the drink. I'm going to attempt to make this chair as comfortable as possible.
You're welcome. I'm going to go see if there's any pillows to be had backstage or any dresses I can stuff into a relative pallet.
I mean, if all else fails, I think 3 seats down, the chair's fallen off. So there's a little bit of a cushion there.
Oh, would you look at that? I'll see what I can dig up. You have a great night.
You as well.
He goes off to find the closest thing that passes for any type of cushion. Like one of those, like the sets where it has like the silk curtains on the like pillows, you know, like it's a set for like a like super opulent room or something, and it's like, oh, this works.
You find the prop room. That might work.
Find something in there. What's worse, the props the actors use, or the seats that have been sat on by thousands of people? Probably the props.
Yeah, you do find something that looks like it's like a makeshift of like a sedan.
Perfect, fainting couch.
That could be carried by 2 people. It looks like probably for, for play usage.
Absolutely. Yep. That is the goal. And yeah, she'll settle in, sleep with Crib, play with Crib just a little bit, get him tuckered out.
He plays with you a little bit, but he also survived a purple worm fight
the entire time.
Yeah. He's had a bit of an ordeal as well. However, does not take long for Charybdis to fall asleep.
Yeah, once he's asleep and V's backstage, she flicks open her little music box, listens to it to fall asleep.
Oh. Okay. Easy enough. You see is the last thing for Charybdis to The tentacles kind of fold themselves together, and he lays his hand on top of the tentacles.
He got his little tentacles, and he's like, kitty sleep.
Yep.
Oh, he's so cute. I want to squeeze him.
All right, so everybody take a long rest.
Yay.
You officially survived the day that you had to fight the purple worm and
Woo!
avoid a massive cave-in.
Woo!
I'm gonna say Basilisk. During your sleep, sir, you start to dream. And a scene comes to view. You see a gathering of your brethren, family members, different races, different types. There appears to be commotion, arguing amongst themselves. Something's being decided. The problem is that you can't make out what's being said. It all sounds like gibberish to you. Sometimes in our dreams, things don't focus in as much as we'd wish. But you see definite arguing. Trolls, ogres, centaur, cyclops, minotaurs, satyrs, all manner. They're not agreeing on something. Something's not right. A shadow casts over the gathering. Almost as if something blocked the sun. And you look up and you see the sun's glow emanating around a monstrous figure. And this figure has countless arms. Could be 100. And you note as the bickering and the arguing and the gibberish starts to fall silent. And a tone of reverent fear comes over the gathering. And for the first time, you hear the only audible words that you can make out. It's in the voice of a female. And there is authority behind it. And the only thing that you can make out is, what are your intentions? And the image vanishes and you wake up.
Try to figure out, I suppose.
Here's that you were allowed to see something that maybe is happening, maybe has already happened, or maybe it is yet to come to pass. It was not interactive. It was just a glimpse. It was just a shred of a vision. It is not the first time that you have dreamed of the 100-handed ones.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out as we go, I suppose. Much I can do here. Haven't seen anything that seems tied to them, so we'll figure it out.
Okay. You try to put your mind at ease as you go back to sleep. No further visions come to you for the rest of the night. Everybody else, morning comes. You come to. You are the first ones to arise. Rynan apparently has passed out and is still passed out exactly where you left him.
What does this man do for a living?
I think
Have
he
fun.
drinks.
Have fun and party.
Yes, fun. That's word for it. If he's already in the morning after a long backstage at one of the vanities, like deal and full beat and everything, and just comes out to see him still sleeping. Yeah, what do you?
It's
do
worth
you do?
noting he is in a different position this time than what you left him. He also has a different set of clothes on than what you left him.
Oh.
A fascinating individual.
Oh, so he did make his appointment.
Right?
It appears so. He is wearing these scented robes that you saw folded off to the side.
That'll be some kind of class feature of his.
A what?
Like,
A
could be some
little,
kind of
a little blood drops down Draco's nose. A what?
Becoming self-aware.
Oh no! Oh no!
Fucking Draco's perception checks. Surprised he hasn't.
My understanding that our send off and then our ride is waiting for us at that contact bar, correct?
Correct.
Our understanding. Right.
Yes. Cassandra was waiting at the Black Pelican.
Yes. I would say after we get the confirmation of what we need to put into motion,
Yep.
probably a good idea to get ourselves out of here quickly.
Agreed.
No need to linger where we've already finished.
Or we've already sunken.
Which we don't need to tell anybody.
Tell anybody what?
That's the spirit. Liquid breakfast of wine.
I was gonna say, is coffee invented in this universe?
Breakfast of champions.
Mm.
We just raid his fridge. We just raid his pantry.
You raid his pantry. You do find some means of I'd say some bread, you know, some he doesn't have coffee, he doesn't have much. Very meager means, but you do find the semblance of what could suffice for breakfast.
What a gracious
So cheese, grapes.
Yes, and the cheese is like it's on the edge. You know, it's got a day or two left in it. You know.
What interesting lives people lead.
Corrales kind of speaks up because, you know, there are some cultures they wait for the cheese to go bad and then they eat it.
Oh,
It was already, but they just inner inside thoughts. Pretty sure I heard somewhere that cheese was already bad. but
Well, yeah, badder than that though, is what I meant.
even badder cheese.
Yeah, it's worse
That's
than
some
that
bad
cheese.
That's some bad cheese.
But
Yeah,
wait,
right.
it
That's
gets
fair.
worse.
Like they wait for it to change
good.
color.
Don't they call it like a different color or something like that? Like they call it by the color? It's just weird.
So guys,
That
what
sounds.
do we do?
Ugh,
I think we're ready to get where we need to go.
yeah.
And which direction is that?
Oh, we know how to get back to the brothel, I assume.
Back to the brothel.
Yep.
Okay. Leaving Rynan to his sleep, to his stupor. You guys venture off and you head back to the brothel, which we now will revisit for the sake of anybody in the party who maybe hasn't been had this described to them before. You open the door to the brothel and you find it once again. There's a heavy aroma of sandalwood and a few other lighter fragrances that kind of waft in and kind of assault your senses the second that you open the door. You do, in fact, see Taruk and Whiskey there, playing cards at a table. Several empty bottles around them, and they both kind of look up at you. And Whiskey, you see this very large, kind of patchy, gray furred tabaxi stand up and goes, "It's about time. We've been waiting for you." And you see as he's the ever-present cigar stuck in his mouth. Taruk also there. It's kind of like, "I don't know how I'm going to pay for all this. I have been losing for 3 days straight."
So glad we left you unsupervised.
How down are you?
Who
How
do
much
you
do
owe
you
mo-
owe?
Who do you owe?
And how much do you owe?
Whiskey kind of laughs. He goes, "He owes me."
Ah,
A lot.
okay.
Oh, that's better, I suppose.
Yeah.
You just see as Taruk is just kind of rubbing his temples, just kind of like,
No.
"I don't understand."
That tracks.
What game are you playing?
You look down and then they were playing a I'll call it, it's a version of what would be blackjack with a few extra hitches to it, and they were playing against each other.
Well, here's your problem. You're not adding correctly here.
What are we doing?
Oh no, it's just like I was
Wait.
Sleight of hand? Is that what it's?
Can I? Can I do that?
You may, if you
Rogue
wish.
sleight of handing something? Unallowed.
Do? Yes,
Must be
please.
a day that ends in Y.
Rogue's got a rogue.
Uh-oh.
That's a natural 20 plus
What?
15.
Okay. A 35?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Rogue's got rogue.
In one motion that I don't think anybody here would see.
V wasn't paying attention.
Basilisk
I-
bite.
Basilisk and Draco, do you want to do perception checks to see if you catch this?
Draco
Sure.
might see it. Torin definitely can't see it, even with a nat 20. So I'm just comforting Taruk. It's okay, big guy. You'll be able to pay him off in payments.
You see, because his head's down, he's just rubbing his temples. He goes, "I owe him 600 gold, Torin."
No. V's like, do not have sympathy on him.
You said perception, right?
Yeah, perception.
They're
How
there.
much did you bet on this?
Whiskey, will there be interest?
Oh shit! I got a nat 20 plus 14.
Not good enough.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You had
know
to
what?
get a 35.
Wow.
That's so
I
crazy.
Wow.
You got a 34.
I beat you by 1. Are you serious?
So, Draco, you see as for some reason the cards were one way a moment ago, and now you look down and see that in fact she's right. The math is off. Taruk just won this hand.
Hey.
How much did you bet?
Look at that, bud.
I went all in. I bet everything.
So
I bet everything.
You won.
Wait a second, who are you? Oh, wait, I remember you. Wait, what? And then he looks down at the cards and like, wait a second. Is that...
Gotta
That's
carry
20.
the 1. You gotta carry the 1, Taruk.
That's 20.
That's
I won.
funny.
And you see his whiskey looks down. Wait a second, what? And you just see his... Sure enough, the cards say 20. Taruk won the hand. He goes, ha ha! Pay up, Whiskers. And he's like, I thought I could have sworn I just what?
Whiskey's just drunk as he goes.
Math
You
is
just
a
see as he
cruel
just-
mistress.
He just blue screens. He's like, I would.
Pay up.
Oh,
Sounds like
Gotta
someone
pay
rolled
up.
a sleight of hand roll that tricked reality. What the hell?
What was that, V? More blood.
More
comes-
blood?
more blood comes
Blood
from V's nose.
What was that?
Starts glitching.
They're aware it's a simulation. They're aware it's a simulation.
Our
Oh,
choices
gosh.
are not our own. Our choices are not our own.
Why don't all these squares make a circle? Okay. So the hand of cards now. You as you leave, Taruk to his ranting and raving, and now Whiskey trying to figure out how he's gonna pay off the hand. You guys make your way. You are quickly ushered upstairs towards the proprietor's office. Jan, you note as just, I'm going to say, just with a precursory scan of the room, you note that some things are a little off. Most of the people who appear to work here are... I'm going to say make a religion check.
That's all right. I guess. Oh, that's a 5.
5. Something's off, Jan. It you can't put your finger on it, but you do note that it seems like nobody who works here is, I don't know, it's just unsettling. And that's your thought as you walk by the 2 guards that are posted at the bottom of the stairs. One looks like it's a very large pig-like creature with tiny wings on his back, holding a great mace. The other is more canine wolf-like. However, tainted in a way. And you're just kind of...
Do they bear any resemblance to anything I might have read in a history book, maybe?
Yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Give me a history check.
15.
15. I will say that they appear fiendish in nature or devilish in nature, and that is your one thought when it comes to everyone who works here. And then you kind of look and you make eye contact with the bartender, which is just an imp fluttering behind the bar cleaning glasses.
Oh, okay, got it.
And he smiles at you, this big kind of unsettling toothy grin.
It's like just a slightly too long on the
Yeah, it's a little too happy. You know, it's a little too, yeah.
No one's that happy doing menial tasks.
Yeah, Jan's just trying to keep her twitchy fingers from her dagger.
That's fair. You also pass a kind of a gray-skinned, I believe I was silver whitish-haired tiefling who appears to be kind of the floor manager down here, and she kind of smiles and kind of motions for you all to go back up the stairs, as you guys have been here several times before.
I would like to check her out as we walk by.
Looks like you secure someone's seat of power and you get backstage treatment.
Yeah. I will send a picture that will give you guys a decent idea of what she looks like.
A photograph.
Yes, I will do that from time to time just to give you guys. I know anybody watching can't really tell, but just to give you guys an overall thumbprint of who you're talking to. Sometimes I will do this. Where's the dice heart? There we go. There.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely checking her out as we walk by.
Yeah. I would say athletic in a way, but also very composed.
Oh, damn it. We don't have phones. I can't sleight of hand my number into her pocket. Fuck.
No!
No, you're gonna have to get more creative.
The limitations of the medium. What's a phone? V's nose starts bleeding.
What's a fool?
Corrales has got like a handkerchief. He goes, "Are you okay?"
We're all having a weird day today. Crazy.
You see his very charming smile and very commanding but welcoming demeanor. I'm sure the boss is expecting you all.
Lucky us.
Thank you.
Jan is like full, like there's dial-up sounds happening, just full blue screen. Little bit of red on the tips of her ears.
Torn will just
He
push
pulls
her
that
forward.
long burgundy veil back and just kind of like links arms with Jan and is like, "Oh dear, let's not be rude."
Gentle little
yes.
push to the back. Just, come on.
He's doing that like
She just-
camaraderie kind of like help kind of look.
She just smiles and does that polite kind of partial bow to you guys as you make your way up.
You'll kind of hear it.
The second that you get to the top floor, you are once again senses assaulted with smoke. And the cloud coming from the very back of where the owner's main office is. When you've been here before, as you guys venture forward and enter, it is hookah smoke. And it's almost like a cloud whiffs and just kind of engulfs as you open the door, just almost if you've ever seen when they open a door and it's like Minnesota in the winter and all of like 3 feet of snow kind of just cascades through the door. Similar, but this is with smoke and it's just
It like tumbles.
You find the only thing that kind of directs you as to where his desk is at is one, A, you've been here before, and B, you see as 2 eyes are illuminated amidst the smoke.
Given the kinship nature of Basilisk and the fact that he was receptive to Torin the last time, V will kind of like run, wait for the deal to wait for the topic to be broached, and then kind of take point behind Torin.
Torn's still a little shaky over the fact that this is a Rakshasa. But he doesn't immediately go for the weapons like last time. Just, I'm okay. Good morning. Mind if we take a seat?
Of course. You
Tornel.
still don't quite make out the face because the smoke is that thick this time.
Oh, yeah.
It's only when he kind of leans forward and you see as this white furred tiger-like entity kind of leans forward through the smoke and smiles, a very greedy smile. A pleasure to see you all again.
It is nice to see you as well.
I sent a image to the party once more, just to remind you what he looks like.
Yep. Big old oof.
Very intimidating.
Yup.
And you that, but you do see hookah pipe coming out of his mouth, and that's the source of all of the smoke in the room. I believe one of you did a little bit of somebody rolled to try to figure out if there's anything more to it. I believe you did figure out that there was some type of magical property that came from his hookah, but you couldn't quite figure out what. So,
Oh, can I try? Because when we met, I had to, I wasn't on.
yeah,
when,
yeah. Give me I'm gonna say make it an arcane check, Draco.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a nature wizard, baby. I mean, a star wizard, no nature.
Yeah. Star wizard.
16 plus 8, 25.
25. You, now that you're kind of, this is the third time I believe, Draco, that your character has ran into the proprietor. There's something off-putting about the smoke itself. It's almost as if you feel weaker. There's something about it. Your nose starts to bleed a little, and you say, I feel like this, like almost I'm in the lair of something very, very powerful. And it pertains to the smoke that surrounds him.
Mm.
The implication of that for a fiend can be yours to conjecture at.
Right. Got you. Now, we are in his domain, and we are not a threat. That's more than enough info for Draco.
Yeah.
Look how non-threatening we're being.
Right.
We're in his world, baby.
You see as the golden yellow eyes simply kind of just dart and kind of reconnect with each of you, just kind of recalling each of you, and he's kind of smiling and nodding and just kind of waiting for you to initiate.
So, we've been on a little bit of a journey in the past day or two. How have things with the local council been going? I know that you had some stake in a new seat at the table.
V kind of adds a smile to what Torrance says. Like V sort of when Torrance says that, like she knows he's not necessarily being like cutting, but then V kind of gives the rock sauce that gives him like a very knowing smile, like, yes, how's that seat that's been perfectly secured for you doing?
You see as his hands create like a power triangle, but since his hands are backwards, it's like a reverse power triangle as he sets his head on top of it. Oh, everything is just fine. um, pretty much each member of the council, minus one or two, of course, well, they wouldn't cross me. And let's just say I have the majority of the council in my pocket if I need them. However, I have no wish to be involved in local politics. I simply want the flow of gold to resume. I want business to go back to the way it was before that silly little cult started their business. Oh, I'm so glad that's over.
That being said,
However, this has been a problem, and you see as he reaches down into the smoke, like down floor level, and pulls up a flailing critter, and it is in fact a rat spider.
Courage
it is-
just kind of bat the tentacle at it.
Yeah, it is still alive, however, but well within his grasp. He has it by the rat part of it, we'll say, by the rat body, and you just see as the legs are kind of flailing, and he just kind of looks at it, and he goes, "You see, these creatures just popped up about a day ago. There was a few tremors and shifting in the earth. And then hundreds of these came to the surface. And while staring at you, Torin, he just squishes it in his hand, tosses it off to the side.
It just seems like there's going to be some well-employed rat catchers in your city for a while.
gross.
Oh yes, the council has already started that. Little extermination squads to help clear the city. It should be dealt with in about a week or two, hopefully.
Lovely.
Waving
What
up
if they-
gold.
What if they start breeding?
Oh, that would be a nuisance. And we'll have to take more drastic measures. I'm hoping that the extermination squads shall deal with most of the problem. Perhaps they can drive the critters away. I don't really want to kill all of them. I just want them out of my city.
Seems like you'll have your hands full with municipal things for a while. The flow of gold will be reinstated now that the cult's been taken care of. I assume that the council is working on that, getting all those channels set back up and all those partners back on the roster, so to speak.
Of course. We're already seeing an increase in, just within these past few days, we're already seeing a few more contracts for, trade, especially with the islands, specifically a rather savory, pirate port that I am very fond with doing business with. They're smart enough to be, well, tactful with the information that we trade.
Discreet.
Insofar as that goes, given that is, we're very interested in that chain bakery stuff, considering that we were hoping we could secure the logistics on the exciting new venture that is investing in our free state that we represent. Given all the channels we've laid out here and all the assistance we've given, we were just hoping that we could hammer out some details on our new partners.
Ah, yes. Yes, let's get to business, shall we? I believe that establishing trade, not only with Sandbar, but in doing so, extending to Thrandia, specifically your free city-state that you are wishing to establish, I believe that trade could be negotiated. And I believe that business could be very good, especially trading between Aria and Sandbar, and then coincidentally Sandbar to Thrandia.
And what an investment it would be, given a sizable investable donation from your council and whoever it is you deem to back in that regard. What a lovely return on investment it'll be when you can trade with our free state without any of those pesky centuries-old bureaucracies that Thurandia bakes into their trade agreements. What a lovely entry floor position to sow a little seed money into our venture so that you and who you represent can have quite the say in how we go about with our foreign trade policies that will be fledgling and newly negotiated.
Indeed.
With heavy favors leaning towards our closest friends, obviously.
Well, that is true. Will take some time, and there is that nuisance of some of the land here being cursed. Because, well, let's face it, that cult might have been a little disorganized, but Midas's curse did fall on this land, and there are certain areas that are tainted. So, crops are very difficult to grow here. However, I believe that there is much that we can establish via trade. Not only with Sandbar, but with your people. And I'm very much interested in that. As per, well, let's say, a donation to your treasury as a token of good faith for the things that you have done for me and the city of Aria, I'm sure something could be arranged. Did you have a particular number in mind? Or should I just get creative?
Oh, I'm sure creativity is called for. I would say the most likely option is that once those trades are reestablished with Sandbar and all those secure lines are back in working order, it would probably be best for this to be sent along with much more protection than we could offer simply in our pockets, obviously. And I would assume that such a burgeoning interest and such an important investment would merit something that would be much more difficult for us to carry on our own.
It just so happens that Midas cult, well, increasing taxes was one of their pastimes in recent memory. So, perhaps some of the treasury that they've helped to accumulate over the past few years could be lightened in lieu of a
foreign aid stipend, perhaps?
Redistributed.
Indeed. You know the terminology, Dragonborn.
Via's so proud of her shiny idiot. She's just like, ugh. Don't know who learned that word, but by golly, Torin, yes.
Redistribution is the key.
As a little bit of incentive towards whatever number you seem fit, we do intend to align ourselves and our city-state with a well-known druid society. And I'm sure, given the right favors for them, they would be able to do some favors for your lands and for your crops. They tend to know a little bit more about nature and its magic than any of the six of us.
Quite an untapped resource that Thurandia doesn't see fit to take advantage of. We think we could be much more cunning in allocating those resources.
I'm gonna say for the party, roll me insight.
Please.
Okay.
Actually, everybody except Lee. I apologize, Jan. You
27.
wouldn't know this.
37, jeez.
Not great. 6. Did not roll high on that.
8, 31.
See, that one's better.
I didn't hear you, Chris.
24.
Okay. Basilisk, V, Draco. The three of you, all for different reasons, have a decent understanding of the capabilities of most of the party and people that the party has been associated with. You all do know of one person who can affect the land with their own magic and their own ability. It would just require concentration for an 8-hour period.
Would is it Sapphire?
No.
No, it's only Basilisk knows.
All three of you know.
The player knows who
Right.
it is. Torrin doesn't.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm not gonna make it a big mystery.
Like a slip
Hector
line.
can.
Hector.
Oh, Hector.
Oh, that's right.
gotcha.
He still can do that.
Oath of Ancients, baby.
Oath of Ancients.
That is correct. He can still do that.
And that would be a faster solution than waiting to have to go deal with the druids. Just throwing it out there.
Draco looks at V.
V looks at Basilisk. V is very good at politics and whatnot, but when it comes to like the nature of, there's just sort of this element of like, V knows how to play this. V is like kind of a close to the vest on it, like, oh, we may have, V would maneuver it in such a way that, we don't have to say, oh, our future king can fix your land for you. But like V's not super clear on the way that works insofar as like the magic goes. She's just seen him do land stuff. So V's willing to hold the, you provide forward with this stipend of foreign aid, and we may be able to fix your crop problem relatively in the near future.
Draco looks at V and like, your boyfriend might be able to do it. Simple as
But
that.
V picks up on Draco's vibe. But then V doesn't want to say too much because she doesn't know the logistics of it. So she's just sort of like, I'm not going to make promises because I don't know what he can do. If someone else wants to make promises, that's up to them, because V is like, we're putting on the table that we have resources that he could pay for effectively.
Draco
or
looks at Torrin at that.
But the point stands regardless of source. Your land can be fixed.
That would certainly expedite the process of trade. Most certainly it would be more lucrative for all parties involved.
So,
Given that our fledgling nation doesn't have much in the way of resources at the moment, it seems that we definitely have access to something that could be very resourceful, even at our present juncture. So outside of our little investment strategy, we think we could also assist in that trade reestablishment. I think it would be most beneficial if we could get a ballpark understanding of where we stand number-wise, just to bring back to our council to know what expenditures they have the resources to make in creating whatever type of mission they need to for you. And then we can obviously get you connected with your council's channels, connected with our council's channels, and they can make those decisions at a higher level once we have some more clarity.
That would be useful if I'm to send a treasure galleon with a economic stipend for your country. I would need to know where to send it and to whom.
Seems for now the most likely, the safest option is in the direction of Sambar, and our council can work out with the leadership there that we're working very closely with where exactly that would be logistically, and we would be more than happy to get that information to you.
Excellent.
Sounds pleasant. I would be more than happy to send it personally until you're more acquainted with our council, speaking as, just one of the helping hands in this little convoy. It would not do me any displeasure to be a point person, so to speak, just to make sure all channels flow smoothly.
Certainly.
So perhaps you can look forward to hearing from me again. Or maybe on many different opportunities.
Perhaps. the moment, we are open to doing business, and I believe if fledgling, but the beginning of a partnership. I believe that would do well for both parties involved.
We look forward to it.
I agree.
Agreed. And Torin, you see as the hand kind of unfolds and comes out for a handshake.
Hesitantly, because it's still a Rakshasa.
Yeah.
I would say, just for the sake of brevity, something that V would definitely want to ask for would be, in case it's relevant, she'd be like, oh, do you happen to have like a write-up with some information about your current council? You know, maybe just some literature about who we're doing business with, a sort of welcome packet, if you will, you know, just like a little bit of, that way if it's important later, we don't have to retcon and, you know, ask if, you know, here and now is when I'm asking who's on the council of Aria, what do they do, what's their approximate like blurb on them, what's their LinkedIn profile,
who's your daddy
basically.
and what does he do?
Yeah, who's your daddy, what does he do, what's your LinkedIn profile, and then just sort of like something formal. And I think it's funny coming from him saying that he's obviously the shadow leader of this new council, like getting the like official Aria Council statement of cooperation or something like an official document we can take to the council and say, here's our, you know,
that's
relatively official documentation, just like a physical document with like a term sheet / statement of intent.
Yes,
yeah, basically.
yes, and that's easy enough to do. Readily promised, no problem on that end.
And if we get it numbered, that'd be cool too, because it would be really funny to find out how much we're getting.
Yeah. Somebody.
He's like, let's not be uncouth and ask for it out loud, but you know, it can be in the packet when we get it. Given everything we've done, we're sure you'll be generous.
And we'll continue to do.
I mean, we really did sweeten the pot by saying, hey, we can fix your cursed crops.
Yeah, and I'm taking that into account. The initial stipend promised, you do get in writing. Very thorough, especially considering who and what you're dealing with. It appears that all documentation is well drawn up and very precise on the details of this being a kind of like an opening agreement, that there is room for negotiation upon furthering of the friendship between Aria and your Thrandian city-state. And it is a statement of intent of the trading of goods, either directly or indirectly through a middleman, so to speak, of trading through Sandbar, and Sandbar coincidentally trading with your city-state. Also, the amount promised to your government as a redistribution of council treasury came to roughly 44,000 gold.
Ooh. Okay. That is a number that I like. How about the rest of the group?
Creating a government in a country is not a cheap endeavor.
Yeah, no, he's very much like, I think that this is a lovely, and of course, like, obviously stating all the, like, you know, the concept of the, like, and, you know, we'll see what else we can add to this. With kind of doing the whole diplomatic, we'll see where this goes. We are very pleased, though. Kind of
the
like
contract
that
is very much worded that way, and that is, it's very expectant upon additional addendums and additional add-ons to this. This is definitely like an entry level trade embargo kind of.
This is a signing agreement.
Yeah. This is definitely an early agreement of, hey, we promise you silks and spices, which is the least of what we have.
We promise
Let's
you
see.
a potential alleviation of your cursed lands.
Right,
and
right.
much more.
Yes. There you go.
Well, I like that number.
Brilliant.
Because as of right now, Thrandians don't really spice their food. You have no natural spices.
No.
No, anyway. Anyway,
It's like, well, we have mulling spices.
DM's nose starts to bleed. Anyway,
He's like, what's pepper? Nosebleed. It's a lot of herbs and a lot of spices. More herbs than spices.
Thrandia doesn't have natural paprika.
Crazy.
Time?
A lot of
That's
garlic
the real
and
reason
onion
why the
powder.
druids left. That's the real
That's
reason.
the
why
real
they left.
reason.
So much
That's the
there's
reason
so
the
much
druids
marjoram.
left.
So much marjoram and sage.
No wonder-
Really not much else.
No wonder
Gosh.
Pius has gone insane.
He's bland food. All
Man
all
needs
these years.
just needs a good meal in him, and he'll be good as new.
Good meal and a little less desire to purge the unclean. Wonderful.
You should have seen the look on his face when they discovered this orange powder called New Bay.
It's part of the reason why I took over half the continent.
Anyway, please let us go to the next scene.
Yes, we've shaken hands with the tiger.
Yes.
A very surprising. The tiger demon had a really well written contract. Weird how that works.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Weird how we
Also,
had that just
once
ready for us.
again, it's also why there was very little in the way of negotiating on you guys' part. This was a very basic type of trade agreement.
Not to mention,
You
we
get
did
the
the hard
idea. You get the idea that anything further than what has been done would definitely require some real negotiating on you guys' part as far as specifics, and especially when, for example, I don't know, like maybe a promise of military support in a state of emergency. That might take more negotiating.
Yeah, V's got this mentality on this of, we came here to secure a stipend of gold that we got. Whether that's going to continue and if it's going to increase is up to our political leaders to basically say they want. Because V's not in the habit of doing anything for free, so they're going to have to ask for us to do it if they want us to. That's just V's attitude. However, she's very much like, great, we've secured the ally, and we can, politically maneuver about it later, but we got what we came here for. We're bringing back the council exactly what they wanted. And that pretty much puts us in the area of, hey, we did what we said we would, proving ourselves kind of deal. So V's happy with the equilibrium of the area that we're at.
Okay. As you depart.
It would be right then and there.
Plug something. Plug something, Cam.
Plug something? You mean like our new dice sponsors?
Yes. Tell me more.
Because SUA Gaming is the official dice sponsor for Dice Hard with a Vengeance. That partnership coming through very recently, and them sending us a wonderful care package of dice, and we'll be doing unboxing videos of everyone getting their dice custom to each character. So go check them out. Facebook, Instagram, they're even on TikTok. Their logo is down at the bottom of the screen in between J1 and OBP Musicals. So please, go give them your business.
That's gonna be amazing.
Oh, I'm so hyped.
I
Cannot wait.
want you to know I did brag to the other. I was like, listen, my friends have a very, very cool podcast, and they're sponsored by Dice. now. They have a dice sponsorship.
We have
So-
a dice sponsor. We have a
We have
dice
a
sponsorship.
dice sponsorship.
Yep.
We've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
A little
yeah.
over.
Just a little over 3 years.
Just a little over 3
Coming
years.
up on 4 this fall.
We're on episode what? 94.
This is 94, I believe. Yep.
Ah, wow. Amazing, guys. Now, business with the Rakshasa. I won't say is concluded, but we'll just say maybe the business for today has been concluded. You have done what you sought out to do. You have created an ally, established some form of trade, and an economic stimulus for your country. What's next, guys?
As we're like exiting out, Draco is gonna slow down from the pack and grab Torin. And
All right.
you know, while slow down while everyone else is ahead of us. Torin,
Yeah,
I
Draco, what's
trust
up?
you and I trust your judgment, but just don't make a habit of making promises with my people. They are very difficult and hard-headed, if you will.
I'm fully aware.
Like,
I hope. Hope is the strongest word I can use right now. I hope that if we can clear out this dragon problem, which again, a dragon problem, I hope that will carry a lot of favor with them.
that's one thing, but it's another thing to levy their power and abilities without first speaking to them. Because I've met the circle of elders,
Mm-hmm.
and Torn, they're stubborn, so fucking stubborn. I mean, I guess you get like that when you live hundreds of years.
Right. No,
I just don't want you to go and make a promise or a bargaining chip and it doesn't come to fruition on your end.
Right. No, I'll keep that in mind. I know that if they helped, or if Hector helped, it would go a long way in them helping us. So that's the only reason I brought it up.
That's understandable. Just
And
like I said,
I don't intend to make too many promises.
just between me and you, the elders are very set on the whole isolation thing. So, yeah,
Well,
that's gonna be a fight in of itself.
right. Well, hopefully, I know this is gonna sound naive coming from me. Hopefully they see what we're trying to do here. And hopefully they see,
They will not.
Oh, I know. I know how stubborn people can be. I mean, hell, Hisma trained me. Like, come on. We know stubbornness.
Yeah,
But
you don't-
hopefully they can see what we're trying to do for him here. And I hope they not in a selfish way, but I hope they do appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll say it like this: me being here was probably not approved by everyone. It's kind of a backdoor situation because they didn't want to involve other people.
That's fair.
So it's a major hill to climb, and not just because it's a mountain.
I was gonna say, isn't it a mountain?
Just saying, I don't want you to get your hopes up just to be crushed.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll
keep that in mind going forward.
But that's it. That's all I wanted to say to you.
Yeah.
Tim, I have a bold request.
Yes.
Given that we just, discussed political machinations and, V is on savvy high alert of knowing how to handle political dealings, and then Draco immediately pulls one of the guys who was calling the shots about the political dealing into a private conversation. Could we have done some type of maneuver to try to listen in on that conversation without being noticed?
A little late to call it out now, but I'll tell you what I'll do.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah. First thing I'll ask is a stealth check.
Alrighty. That is a... On the die plus odd numbers are so difficult to add up. Stealth check is a 15 on the die plus a 12. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a 13.
What?
That's a 28.
28. Okay. Torin and Draco, would you give me a perception check, please?
And given that it's not so much of a, hiding behind a pillar and listening, it's more of like a, interesting. She's like trying to be nonchalant about it type of a thing. She didn't skitter up into the rafters or anything. That doesn't make any sense.
18 plus 14.
Just a flat 10 for me.
Well, Torin doesn't notice. Draco, you do note as V kind of positioned herself to kind of eavesdrop on you and Torin's conversation.
She doesn't mind her own business. Doesn't make a thing of it. Just kind of walks away.
Knowing V and I feel like Draco would still say what he said, knowing that V was probably listening. Because it wasn't necessarily private, more so just,
A little FYI off to the side.
Yeah.
She's not making a big deal of it, you know what I mean? She's just sort of like, interesting.
All right.
Much appreciated.
As you all exit, make your way down the stairs, through the hookah smoke. Draco, you do note this time as that feeling subsides as soon as you walk down to the lower level. In other words, as soon as you're out of the smoke, you feel like, why was I so nervous in that? Why did that make me uneasy?
it was his lair. And a little bit of blood drops down Draco's nose.
Right. Today was brought to you by that anime trope of bloody nose.
Oh, I get it. It's his lair. Wait, what?
Lair? Where did that come from?
You are all warmly greeted by the white-haired tiefling who is running the bottom floor. Seems to have taken the place of the patron that you had met before. It's not the same one. This one's a little different. That was for them, Jan. This is the same one you saw a moment ago. They met a different person who was kind of in charge of the lower level of the brothel. This one appears to be could just be the day shift worker. You don't know. But she warmly smiles at you all and kind of once again does like that half kind of slight bow to all of you as you make your way down.
Come on away.
We'll match it.
What?
Oh, sorry. Dumb joke. I just said making my way.
I caught it.
Oh,
I caught it.
I caught it.
I caught it.
Everything's been meta and fourth wall breaking, so.
Yeah. You go by the security that look surprisingly like a pig demon and a wolf demon. and you, you go right past them. Go up. It's up to you guys. What do we? Anything left to do in the brothel?
Party.
Problem that I can think of.
Collect our Taruk and our whiskey.
Yeah, collect our whiskey, but other than that.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat.
Substance.
Hey, do you want to go talk to the imp running the bar? He's still selling drinks at all hours of the day.
Nah, I'll drink at the Pelican.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nothing in the brothel.
Nothing in the brothel.
Nothing? Okay.
Oh, that imp was too hot for Yan. She can't process it.
All right. You know what it was? It was the eyebrows that kind of...
Oh,
It was totally the eyebrows.
the well-coiffed eyebrows that kind
Yeah.
of curl out.
Damn those
All
sexy
right.
eyebrows.
For real.
Eyebrow game's on point. Anyway, all right, you guys leave and you make your way to the Black Pelican, which you are going to the outskirts of Aria, closer to the docks where Cassandra's ship is anchored. And you guys head in. This is much smaller than the brothel and much, obviously, than the amphitheater. This is definitely like a little hole-in-the-wall dive. Like, definitely a frequented by the local sailors, and local fishermen that are from Aria. And yeah, it reeks of stale ale and a lot of regret.
Delightful.
My kind of
Smells like
place.
home.
The only thing I would think of is, did we want to try anyone with did we, before we leave the island, do we want to try to get a more solid understanding of whether or not we buried our army by trying to message them or send to them, given that we were familiar with the leader at least? Or are we going to assume that since Draco could probably burrow down to them, they could burrow back up? Or are we going to try to just kind of lay that to bed and try to attempt to message that before we leave?
I think an attempt to message would be less work on all of our parts. You know, smarter, not harder.
Has anything?
Hmm?
So if anybody has anything,
I was going to say,
I
is there
don't.
a message or sending?
no.
No. I mean, I have message, but I'd have to be closer
Oh,
than
that's right, that's one. I could have sworn one of us. Oh, you know what? We had used an NPC at one point to cast sending. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I believe Belden had it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I remember us having it at one point, but I think that it was a matter of, I think we used it to, I think we got an ally to send someone. I thought one of us had it. All right, well, that's fine, I suppose. Suppose we can make our assumptions and confer with any experts we might find, but I suppose that's all we have for now.
Okay.
Get the rest of who we need to pick up and head to the ship. If we've already got our paperwork from here, we've got our deal. There's nothing left for us here.
Yep.
Well, back at the Black Pelican, you do in fact, with the help of whiskey, you do track down Captain Cassandra, who has been waiting here not too long, but is waiting for you guys at a table off in the corner. Jan, this would be your first meeting of Captain Cassandra. You see long dark hair, striking eyes. You see a lot of dark leathers, with the kind of furled pirate hat with a very large white plumage off of the right side of it. I am going to send one last one. This will probably be the last one of the night, of what Cassandra looks like. If you were looking for a type, we would say a Kate Beckinsale type.
I like it. Nice.
And she
Um,
kind of looks all of you over. So, did you find anything?
Maybe a trinket or two.
A monster or two.
Monster or two.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
just
Find
out of
anything useful
curiosity,
out?
I was going to say, out of curiosity, do I count as a trinket or a monster?
Time will tell.
I don't know. I've only just starting to know you, dear. By the way, I'm Captain Cassandra. Who's this?
Pleasure. Name's Jan. Jan
Pleasure.
Patrol.
New friend.
Oh, you
Ah.
think we're friends? That's so sweet. Thank you.
Well, V's the one that said friends.
Don't
Multiple
you have a
times,
keen
by the
hair all
way.
of a sudden?
Multiple times. I will not let her
Don't you have a
forget
keen
that.
sense all of a sudden?
Well, it is a
Wow.
pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Same to you, dear. Now, does anything interesting happen in the past few days?
Apparently, there was a rat spider outbreak in the city.
I know. I actually had to kill a couple of those ghastly creatures.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
I incite her interest just in the sense of like just touching base or determining whether or not we're ready to leave or
Yeah, roll insight.
that's not amazing. 23.
23. You get that it's just more fact finding, just more of like, hey, anything interesting happen in the past few days? Learn
Right.
anything? On the surface, it appears to be just straightforward.
Yeah, V will kind of just put on like a, not the complete bullshit business person air, but just sort of like, a conversational tone and just sort of be like, well, we ran ourselves a little bit ragged, made a couple friends, and we think that our council will be satisfied with what we have to bring back home to them. Time will tell, of course, but we think we managed to earn our keep, so to speak. And of course, arrange the future payment for yourself.
That's all I need to hear. Excellent. How soon do we leave?
Well, not to be too bold or presumptuous, but with all haste and any time that works for you would work for us.
With the tide, then.
V's like, I totally know. V has a look of like, indeed, in her head. I totally know what that means.
I feel like with as much
Excellent.
I feel like with as much sailing as basically everyone.
Yeah, shit, at this point, maybe he does know what that
I'm
means.
gonna say,
everything.
at this point, you all could probably subclass as pirates.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Oh,
We
we
all
all
get
get
access to that
swashbuckler?
We all get a little bit
I
of
mean,
swashbuckler.
I feel like, yeah, you would get like a level in swashbuckler at this point. I mean, you guys have
We get
done a
little bit of the
lot
sailor
of
pilot
sailing.
background.
we get the sailor
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Basically, okay, I'll finish this up because yeah, I think we're getting to a good stopping point here. Very well. Just give us time to just get a few more supplies loaded on board, and we can leave with the tide.
Splendid.
Wonderful.
With with that little time, did we happen a jewelry store, a jewelry shop?
We pass one?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is there one relatively close that we passed?
Let's just give it an investigation roll, Draco.
Word. That's a decent amount. 15 on a die, and investigation is 18.
18. Store is a bit of a stretch. You do find a small kiosk kind of set up not too far away from the shipyards and the docks. But it's like a small little vendor kiosk of several sailors who do in fact have jewelry and such for trade.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna fleece you.
Cool. Would they happen to have? I need something specific. What is the exact? A
What are you
gem
looking
encrusted bowl.
What's the likelihood that they would have a gem encrusted bowl?
Doesn't say they have to be precious gems.
Yeah, it's just gem encrusted. Well, there has to be at least 1,000 gold. So
That's a tall.
Okay, that's an interesting tall order. Okay, who wants to roll a D100?
Sure.
Flashbacks to D100s.
Go high or low.
shit. I did this recently. Let's go high.
Okay.
It was 60, exactly on the dot.
Okay, you are in luck, Draco. You
Two for two.
do in fact see a gem encrusted bowl. It's what? And how much did you say it needed to be worth?
1,000.
Okay.
Do they have two?
Yeah.
Do they
Do they have two?
Yeah.
How much gold you got, Holmes?
Hey, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'll say they do in fact have two.
Where you been hiding all this bowl money, Draco?
They are asking for 1,500 gold each.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
What spell is this for?
Hero's Feast.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's
okay.
a pretty good spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do the 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need those bowls.
You got it. These group of says about 3 of them. You see, as they are all but too eager to sell you these gem encrusted bowls.
I've been trying to get rid of the bowls for months.
I'll say
didn't
just
even
for
negotiate.
perception, I'm not even gonna say. Basilisk and V, you both kind of note that one of those bowls you swear has a blood stain on it as you see the transaction happening.
Hey,
V glances at Basilisk, shrugs, and says nothing.
Yeah. Torrent, having paid tourist prices before, go,
the blood is why it was extra. And I'll go ahead and put those in my inventory, and we'll use those for a later day.
By the way, you can go ahead and say that you have 2 gem encrusted bowls worth 1,000 each.
Yeah, but I still got some platinum bars, so it's all good. Draco's rich as fuck. Well,
Yeah, I
was
know.
rich as fuck.
Well, you
Now
were.
he's just wealthy. Now he's just wealthy.
now he's just wealthy.
You're just well off.
So yeah, that's all Draco needed.
You can eat out in this economy. You just can't go to nice restaurants.
Right.
You can
I can
afford-
get the
That was our watch
Loftatel.
totals up too.
I can get the Loftatel. I just can't get the surf and turf.
Right.
It's one or the other.
You go to that really nice Italian restaurant, you can get the pasta, but you cannot afford the fish. I got you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, easy enough to do. A little anticlimactic, but I think that that's a good place for us to kind of call it for tonight.
Alrighty.
And we can pick up next time with you guys getting back on board of Cassandra's ship and making your way
Yes.
back to Sandbar.
Yes. I'm just checking a date really fast.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching tonight. Saw a couple of you in the stream chat, so thank you for watching. Thank you, we appreciate it. As always, shout out to our friends, especially the ones like Collected Comics and their free comic book day next weekend, May the 4th, actually. So
you do get extra comics for coming in costume. Just saying.
Ooh.
Taken from the source itself. So,
Mm-hmm.
so don't miss out on Free Comic Book Day at Collected Comics here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 3 locations, so you guys have more than enough chances. And shout out to our new friends, ST-Way Gaming, for their wonderful dice that they are now sponsoring us for. So, shout out to them once more with feeling, because I'm so excited for this. More will get posted on our Facebook page about them later, but I wanted to do it on the air and talk about them just a little bit. With that, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we'll pick up this adventure when we hit the high seas again. So, thank you all.